Okay, so today's video will be really short is because one, I have to focus on my assignments before the end of next week, and we're just gonna do one little album discussion which is called Once Upon a Star. Now this is actually the second studio album that was actually created by the Bi-City Rollers, and actually they do have their number one hit single, Bye Bye Baby. So this single for Bye Bye Baby was actually created by the Four Seasons back in the 60s. But the Bi-City Rollers had their own version of Bye Bye Baby. So that's one of the reasons why the song was actually on the number one hit in the UK. So basically there are actually some songs which also features from the album Once Upon a Star. So actually they do have some albums. So they have Bye Bye Baby, which is actually the number one album and song that was actually featured on Top Pop. You guys can just go and see the video. It was actually uploaded 9 years ago, along with some of the albums, the songs, which are actually here. So yeah. So actually, you could just see on the Wikipedia for Bye Bye Baby. This one is actually the Bi-City Rollers version. It was released on February 28, 1975. And this is actually one of the albums that was released in the UK. It was actually the single, the only one from the second studio album. It had reached number one in the UK, Ireland, and Australia. It was also a hit in several music markets around the world. It was number one on the UK single charts for 6 weeks from March of 1975, and this actually ended the year for UK's top-selling single of 1975. So for the Four Seasons version, it's quite sparse because it actually has the instrumental backing instead of being carried by the vocals. The Bi-City Rollers version is actually faster and has a fuller backing sound. It was actually played the lowest step, and this actually includes the 8-bar guitar solo by Eric Faulkner, who was actually a session musician. He was not presented in the original, so basically yes, that was actually one of the reasons why the song went on to number one in Australia, Ireland, and the UK. The rest of them, from the peak position, they were from the top 10 and the top 100 if I'm not 100% mistaken. Yeah, they also have another songs called the Disco Kid La Belgini, When Will You Be Mine, in which Stuart Woody Wood and Eric Faulkner sing the lead, while Les plays the guitar. But he also joins in with the rest of the band members as well. I do remember there were some songs that was actually featured in the Shang-a-Lang show, and yes, those songs were actually very popular back in the mid-70s when Rollermania had their charged for it. They also have Keep On Dancing, so this is actually the Les McEwen version of the song. Keep On Dancing was actually the single from 1971, and yes, it was sang by Gordon Noby Clark. Unfortunately, the 1971 version was a fail, and basically, as the singles were failing in 1973, Gordon Noby Clark decided to quit the band and move on to a solo career. So that's why he was replaced by lead singer Les McEwen, as I actually mentioned it earlier. So there are other cover versions as well, and the song for their version topped number 9 in the UK. And as well as this, they also have other songs like Angel Baby, Let's Go, Once Upon a Star, Malina, My Teenage Heart, Rock and Roll Honeymoon, in which Alan sings the lead as well. And yes, there were some episodes and some concerts where Alan Longmire was the one who sang Rock and Roll Honeymoon. And Hey Beautiful Dreamer by Faulkner, McEwen, and Wood. There was also a 2004 UK reissue of the CD. From Bell, they actually included 5 bonus tracks from All of Me Loves All of You, which is a 1974 single. It was not on the Bay City Rollers debut album, but instead it was actually on the Once Upon a Star album. So that's one of the reasons why it wasn't featured in this album. But I do remember it was actually featured on the Absolute Rollers, the best of the Bay City Rollers, which was released in 1980. That was actually 2 years after Les left the band. And they actually did one album which is called Vox, which were also renamed as The Rollers, which actually included South African frontman from Rabbit Duncan Foray. And the bump is from the B-side Keep On Dancing, the 1971 version where Gordon Noby Clark sang Alright and It's For You. As well as this, if you can see some of the episodes from Shang-a-Lang, yes, I do see that Les actually plays the guitar in some of the episodes. But basically in some of the episodes, he would be using the microphone and saying. That was actually one of the reasons why some of the songs were here, and some of the songs that were actually featured in the Shang-a-Lang show. Yes, I would just say, in my opinion, these songs were actually very popular. And basically, yes, we do see that Les is actually the lead and backing vocals. He also plays the acoustic and electric guitars. And yes, there was also another rare video that I found on YouTube. If I'm not mistaken, it was actually Lift Off with Aisha. It was in 1974. And yes, we do see a rare footage of the video, so you could just check it out and see. I'm not forcing everyone to do it. So yeah. They also have some of the songs from the show Once Upon a Star as well. And that was actually one of the reasons why it was actually featured in some concerts and shows in the 1970s. So yeah, there are also some songs as well which were also featured in the Kroft Superstar Hour. It was actually the biggest mistake that the Rollers did before they split up. And that was one of the reasons why the songs was here in Shang-a-Lang and the Kroft Superstar Hour. Yes, there are some live footages for these songs as well. However, the quality is really, really bad. So unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to see it well. And I would just say not many people do like the Kroft Superstar Hour because, when the teen magic is gone, the trends change, as I mentioned it earlier. So yeah. So actually, this is a really good album. This is actually one of the songs, the first time one of their cover albums was put into Bye Bye Baby, the first album that became the #1 UK hit. Anyways, I think that's all for this short discussion. If you do have any questions on this video, yes, feel free to ask. And feel free to know, what are your favorite BCR albums. I don't think that, BCR is definitely popular in Malaysia. Although, yes, I do see one comment to say that there was a roller fan pen pal in Malaysia. As mentioned in the other video, I'm not gonna say the name, okay, that would be wrong. But I do recall that was actually the case. There was actually one roller fan pen pal in Malaysia during the Rollers' heydays. So yes, that was actually the one that I've mentioned. Anyways, that's all for now. And if you do have any questions, do let me know. And yeah, you know the drill. I'll see you guys real soon.